Imagine walking through the heavy glass doors of a Las Vegas mega resort. The air is cool, the smell of expensive perfume and ozone is thick, and the rhythmic chiming of thousands of machines creates a hypnotic trance. Most people see a playground of luck. But for the people in the black vests, the slot technicians and floor managers, the view is very different. They don't see luck. They see mathematics, psychology, and a carefully choreographed dance designed to separate you from your paycheck. Behind every flashing light is a decision made by an engineer, and some of those decisions are meant to ensure you never stand a chance. I've spoken with former floor workers who have spent decades watching the cash boxes being pulled, and they've revealed something the marketing teams would lose their minds over. There are specific machines that are strategically placed to never pay out a significant return. Today, we're stepping behind the velvet rope. I'm going to show you exactly which machines to avoid, why the most beautiful games are often the deadliest for your bankroll, and the one secret a technician told me that changed the way I look at a casino floor forever. 1. The insider's perspective. To understand why certain machines are dead, you have to understand the people who maintain them. A slot technician isn't a gambler. They are a mechanic of human behavior. I once spoke with a tech who spent 15 years at a top-tier Atlantic City resort. He told me that his job wasn't just fixing jammed bill validators. It was observing the flow. He could tell which machines were tight, meaning they had the lowest allowable return to player, RTP, percentages, just by looking at the carpet they sat on. Most players assume that all machines in a row are identical. They aren't. Casinos often sandwich a loose machine between two tight ones. The worker sees the data on his tablet. He knows that the machine by the high-traffic bathroom is set to a brutal hold percentage because the casino knows people only play it for 5 minutes while waiting for a friend. They don't need to lure you into a long session there. They just need to take your $20 quickly. This is the first rule of the insider. The machine's location tells a story that the pay table hides. Before you even touch a button, you are already being profiled by the floor's layout. Never play the first machine you see when walking off an elevator or out of a restaurant. These are convenience traps with notoriously low payouts. 2. The high-gloss license trap. You've seen them, the massive, towering machines themed after your favorite blockbuster movies, TV shows, or pop stars. They have 4K screens, vibrating seats, and cinematic bonus rounds that feel like a ride at Universal Studios. But here is the secret the ex-employees won't tell you. These are often the worst bets in the house. Think about the economics. The casino has to pay a massive licensing fee to the movie studio or the celebrity to use that brand. That money has to come from somewhere, and it's usually the player's pocket. Because the overhead on these branded slots is so high, the RTP is often dialed down to the legal minimum. A former floor manager explained it to me simply. People play the Batman slot because they like Batman. They play a generic cherries and bells slot because they want to win money. We don't have to give Batman fans a high payout to keep them in the seat. The branding does the work for us. These machines are designed for entertainment, not profit. They distract you with clips from the movie while the math slowly grinds your credits to zero. Look for the boring machines. The generic, non-branded games often have significantly better odds because the casino isn't paying a middleman for a famous logo. 3. The penny slot paradox. The name, penny slot, is perhaps the greatest lie in the history of gambling. Most players choose these because they feel safe. You think, I'm only betting a penny, how much can I lose? But look closer at the max bet button. With multiple lines and multipliers, a single spin on a penny machine can easily cost $5, $10, or even $20. According to state gaming reports, penny slots consistently have the lowest payout percentages in the entire casino, often hovering around 88% to 90%. Compare that to $5 or $10 machines, which often pay out at 95% to 98%. A former casino host once told me that the penny room is the real engine of the casino's profit. It's where they collect the most house edge from the largest number of people. You are paying a premium for the illusion of a cheap game. By playing pennies, you are essentially volunteering to play against the toughest odds in the building. It's a volume game for the house, and your small bets add up to their giant yachts. If you're going to bet $3 a spin on a penny machine, move to a dollar machine and bet 1 or 2 credits instead. You'll likely face a much more favorable payout percentage. 4. The must-hit by Mirage. Have you ever walked past a machine with a giant digital sign? Screaming jackpot must be 1 BY 500, and the current total is $498.50? You feel a surge of adrenaline. You think, it's due. It has to happen any second. This is what industry insiders call a progressive trap. These machines are programmed to create a sense of urgency that overrides your logic. While it's true the jackpot must hit, the machine often enters a starvation mode as it approaches that limit. A technician revealed that the game's regular line hits often become smaller or less frequent to compensate for the growing jackpot. You might spend $200 chasing a guaranteed $500 win, only to have someone else sit down and take it the second you go to the ATM. The casino uses these signs as bait to keep seats filled during slow hours. It's not about when the machine is due. It's about how much money the machine can extract from the chasers before it finally triggers. Only play progressives if the jackpot is significantly higher than its base starting point, and never chase a must-hit buy unless you have the bankroll to see it through to the end. 5. The audiovisual deception. In the industry, there is a term called losses disguised as wins, LDWs. This is a psychological trick that ex-workers see players fall for every single day. Imagine you bet $3. The reels spin, the lights flash, a bell rings, and the screen says big win. But when you look at your balance, you only won $1.20. You actually lost $1.80 on that spin, but your brain just received a massive hit of dopamine because of the celebratory sounds and animations. A former game designer told me they spend months perfecting these sounds to ensure they trigger the same brain response as a real jackpot. This keeps you in a state of positive reinforcement, even as your wallet is bleeding out. The machines that never pay out are often the loudest ones because they have to use noise to hide the fact that you aren't actually winning anything. Have you ever noticed how the winning music continues even when your credits are lower than when you started? That's by design. Turn the volume down or ignore the celebrations. Focus entirely on the credit balance. If the number isn't going up, the lights don't matter. 6. The near-miss algorithm. A technician once showed me the virtual reel logic on a modern slot machine. On a physical reel, you might have 20 symbols. On a virtual reel, you have thousands. The game is programmed to frequently display near misses, where the jackpot symbol is just one notch above or below the pay line. To you, it looks like you were so close. To the machine, that result was no closer to a win than a screen full of blanks. Industry insiders know that these near misses are statistically programmed to happen far more often than they would by random chance. Why? Because a near miss encourages you to play again. It creates a frustration attraction loop. A worker once told me he watched a woman play for 6 hours because she kept almost hitting it. She left with nothing, but she felt like she was a winner who just had bad luck. In reality, she was playing a machine designed to tease her into bankruptcy. Remember that almost doesn't exist in computer code. A spin is either a win or a loss. There is no such thing as getting closer. 7. The mystery of cold machines. Is there such a thing as a cold machine? Workers say yes, but not for the reasons you think. A machine isn't cold because it just paid out. It's cold because of its internal settings. Every casino has a hold strategy. If a casino is struggling to meet its quarterly goals, management can, and does, request that the newest machines be set to a higher hold. A former executive told me they often tighten the floor right before a major holiday weekend when they know the crowds will be huge. The cold machines are often the ones positioned in areas where the casino doesn't need to work hard to get your attention, like right next to the buffet line or the show entrance. People play these out of boredom or while waiting in line. If you see a row of machines where nobody is winning and everyone looks frustrated, don't think it's due for a hit. Trust your eyes. It's likely a high hold zone. Watch the floor for 10 minutes before sitting down. Identify the areas where the vibe is dead. Those are your never pay zones. 8. The layout maze. Casinos are designed as labyrinths. You've heard that there are no clocks and no windows, but have you noticed how the bad machines are used as walls? A former floor architect explained that they place the lowest paying, most addictive machines along the paths to the exits and the ATMs. They want to catch you on your way out for one last spin. They also use sight lines to lure you toward the back of the room where the air circulation is lower and the lighting is dimmer. This creates a cocoon effect where you lose track of time. The machines in these dead zones are often older and have slower processors, making the games feel more deliberate and real. But they are often kept there because they are the most consistent moneymakers for the house. The ex-workers call these the graveyard. And if you find yourself deep in a corner of the casino with no foot traffic, you are likely in a high house edge trap. Stay in the well-lit, high-traffic areas. The loosest machines are often placed where the most people can see someone winning, creating an advertisement for the rest of the floor. 9. The loyalty card trap. Always use your player's card. The casino tells you. Get free meals and rooms. But a former data analyst for a major casino chain told me the darker side of the rewards system. The card isn't there to give you free stuff. It's there to track your time on device and your pain threshold. They know exactly how much you can lose before you quit. If the data shows you are a loyal player who will keep spinning even when losing, they have no incentive to offer you a loose machine experience. In fact, some insiders suggest that the most aggressive offers are sent to players who have recently stopped playing, not the regulars. The machines that never pay are often the ones that the local regulars flock to out of habit. The casino knows they have you, so they don't need to entice you with better odds. Occasionally play without your card or vary your betting patterns. Don't let the casino's algorithm solve your gambling habits. 10. The seat of the problem. Next time you sit down, feel the chair. Is it incredibly comfortable? Does it have a footrest? Does it have a USB port to charge your phone? A former floor manager laughed when I asked about this. We don't want you to have any physical reason to stand up, he said. The machines with the most comfortable, ergonomic seating are often the ones with the lowest RTP. They are designed for marathon sessions. The longer you sit, the more the math of the house edge works against you. If you are comfortable, you are vulnerable. Conversely, the machines with high payouts, like the old-school mechanical three-reelers, often have stools that are slightly less comfortable. The house knows these games are riskier for them, so they don't want you camping out there for 8 hours. The most dangerous machine is the one you never want to get up from. If the seat is too comfortable, be suspicious. Set a timer on your phone for 20 minutes. Force yourself to stand up and walk around when it goes off to break the machine trance. 11. The max bet manipulation. Many modern machines lock their best features behind the max bet button. You might see a beautiful bonus round advertised on the top screen, but a technician will tell you that on many games, that bonus is mathematically impossible to hit unless you are betting the maximum amount. This forces players to play at a level that is way above their comfortable bankroll. I see people betting $5.00 a spin on a machine they should be betting 50 cents on, a former host said. Read the rules screen. If the jackpot or top bonus requires a max bet, and that bet is too high for you, walk away. You are playing a crippled version of the game. 12. The surveillance truth. People think the eye in the sky is only looking for card counters or thieves. But ex-surveillance officers say they are also watching for vultures. These are players who wait for someone to lose a lot of money and then jump on the warm machine. The truth? The cameras see that the machine doesn't care who is sitting in the chair. A machine that hasn't paid out in 10 hours is no more likely to pay out on the next spin than one that just hit a jackpot. The surveillance team watches people lose their life savings on cold machines every day, and they are trained never to interfere. They know the truth. The randomness is controlled by a computer chip that doesn't have a memory. If you think you can time a machine by watching it from a distance, the guys in the camera room are laughing at you. Never vulture a machine. It's a waste of time. Every spin is an independent event. If a machine is performing poorly, it's not ready to pop. It's just a high-edge machine. 13. The strategy of the exit. So, how do you find the machines that do pay? Ex-employees agree. You look for the ones the casino hides. The good machines, the ones with 97% or 98% RTP, are usually tucked away in the middle of a row, far from the flashing lights and the movie themes. They are the simple, three-reel games with no fancy chairs and no must-hit jackpots. They are player-unfriendly in their design because the casino doesn't want to promote them. A former slot manager said, "We call them the professional slots. They don't look like fun, but they are the only ones that don't treat the player like a mark." The smartest move is to treat the casino like a business. If it looks like an advertisement, it's a trap. If it looks like a piece of office equipment, it might just be your best bet. Focus on high-denom rooms. One Australian dollar or $5 machine in a separate room almost always has a better payout percentage than the flashy penny slots on the main floor. After decades on the floor, the ex-workers all say the same thing. The casino is for entertainment, not a career. The machines that never pay are the ones that succeed in making you forget that. They use lights, sounds, and movie stars to distract you from the simple math that is slowly eating your credits. But now, you have the insider's edge. You know to avoid the licensed traps, the must-hit mirages, and the high-traffic convenience zones. You know that comfort is a tactic and sound is a mask. Gambling should be a fun night out, not a financial strategy. The best win you can ever have in a casino is leaving with your dignity and enough money for a good dinner. Play with your head, not your heart. And remember, the house always wins in the long run. But that doesn't mean you have to be their favorite customer. Be the player who knows the secrets, walks past the traps, and knows exactly when to walk away. If you found these insider tips helpful, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more secrets to share from the world of Casino Pro. And as always, play responsibly.